Head of Technical Development for Cosmetics at Safic-Alcan. I don't have to convince anyone that texture is very important in cosmetics. Well, the next 15 minutes should be a nice journey through this exciting field. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in. I will be happy to answer them at the end of the presentation. You will also get my details on the last slides. If you have any questions, well, which has not been answered, well, drop me an email. Quick view on the agenda. Our journey will start with a short marketing presentation that will help us understand what texture really means for consumers. Then we'll try to build the perfect innovative texture toolbox. Finally, I will conclude. Remember, very interesting presentation at an LVMH symposium where the speaker explained that in the shop, texture is the parameter which has the most influence on the purchase intent, right after the brand name. Well, it is unique in a sense that it can stimulate two of our key senses, vision and touch. There's a motto that says that the first impression can only be made once. Well, texture is the criteria that has the most impact on this impression. For sure, the COVID-19 crisis is having a huge impact, not only on our personal life, but also on cosmetics. One of the rising trends is the touch-free hygienic format. We see more and more roll-on, spray, mist, single capsule sticks being launched. Solid product. They assure consumers in terms of usage. They offer hygienic gestures while being effective. Also, you can imagine that in the current sanitary crisis, some trends such as nomadic products and clean products are gaining momentum. You know that what was the #1 best-selling home equipment in France during the COVID-19 crisis? Well, Bread self-cooking machine. This confirms the rising consumer interest for do-it-yourself product because they engage and distract consumers. When you are confined at home, which has been the case for us for the past 3 weeks, well, you want to experience some fun and excitement. Keep that in mind. It is the right time to develop playful sensorial textures to boost mood. Go ahead and create surprising and transforming textures, and we'll show some of them to you. In fact, almost 7 young Italian consumers out of 10 will rather buy beauty products that are fun to use, like the slime shower jelly. Also in line with the need to have fun is the rise of the wow textures. Almost 40% of young urine consumers reported to be interested in using color-changing, texture-changing products. This is why we see the rise of textures such as gel to water, cream to water, powder to cream, and so on. I see a formulator like a painter. A good artist needs a palette with a broad range of colors to be creative. Let's now discuss how to build your own innovative texture toolbox. Well, our starting point will be a texture roadmap that will help us navigate from one texture to another. The first thing formulators usually ask for is how to structure the liquid phase. In your toolbox, you should be able to thicken the phase, you should be able to form gels or to form film. You should be able also to deal with water or to deal with oil. Some formulators may want to formulate an emulsion. In this case, you need suspending things. And of course, you may want clear ingredients or clear formula, or you want natural or synthetic, the choice between natural and synthetic. Well, the first ingredient in your toolbox is Nouryon Amaze XT. It is a natural thickener for aqueous phase. It has great suspensive properties. It can make clear solution, and of course, it is natural. Just said. Well, you may know that there are more than 5,000 products launched every year in Europe with xanthan. Well, formulators love it because it works on a broad range of pH, temperature, and salt conditions. But the sensorial properties of xanthan are not optimum. It's a bit sticky and stringy, while Nouryon Amaze XT offers a very nice alternative. We checked in the lab, and Amaze XT is more effective than xanthan as a thickener at equal level, and it is significantly less sticky and stringy than standard xanthan. As you can see on the chart, it capitalizes on higher yield value, this is here, higher yield stress value and therefore offer better suspending properties than the conventional xanthan. It is a multi-application and robust tools. It is 100% natural. In fact, the natural origin index is 1 based on the ISO 16128. There is a big market need to replace synthetic thickeners, and Alchemy offers two alternatives. Clear 6X S is an original mixture of cellulose gum and alginate. It is a medium viscosity thickness which offers smooth, transparent, and non-sticky texture. You can see the type of texture we get here. If you target the replacement of carbomels, then I would recommend to test Sucra 6VX here, which is a mixture of microcrystalline cellulose gum and xanthan. On the top of offering improved thickening and suspending versus cellulose or xanthan alone, it is an excellent emulsion stabilizer, and you can see the type of texture you can get here, and the structure is based on this microcrystalline cellulose. With Elementis bentonite gel, we move to 100% oil phase system. We receive more and more requests from our formulators to help them thicken oil. Elementis bentonite gels offers effective oil thickening and suspending properties. It has shear thin properties and provide a very nice silky skin feel. The chart shows that with bentonite gels, the G prime, which is the storage modulus, is higher than the G prime prime, which is the viscous modulus. As a result, the internal phase is good and unlikely to experience separation. In absence of bentonite gel, the G prime prime gets on the top of the G prime. It means that it flows like a liquid, but there is a risk of separation over time. You can see also here the type of texture we get. We'll pursue our journey with exploring the world of gels. We form gels when they are strong but reversible interaction between the polymer molecule. And this is the case with the carrageenans, which are extracted from red algae. When we have weak interactions, like with the iota carrageenans, we can make smooth and elastic gels. On the contrary, when we're dealing with a very strong gel, and here this is the kappa carrageenan, here we have very strong interaction between the polymer strands, and you can see that we are forming solids. With Momentive silks of O, we capitalize on very innovative vesicles to make microgels. They include a cationic silicone shelf, which can interact with oil, and a polyacrylate core, which can swell with water. Vesicles can form a network that can stabilize emulsion. Looks like very much picrine emulsions, if you know these ones. Depending on the conditions, the size of the vesicle will vary. At neutral pH, they will swell a lot. Particle size, this is here, the particle size will increase and vesicle will be tightly packed and forms butters or powders. Low pH, on the contrary, where the polyacrylates are not very effective, we form light gels. For the formulation artists that you are, this type of multi-texture, ranging from milk, from lotions to butters and to powders is very, very interesting. With this is Safic-Alcan TXCG. It is a mixture of carob and xanthan. If you look at the video at 0.3%, it looks like a liquid. However, if you measure the viscosity at rest, it is 10 times thicker than honey. This is because it capitalizes on the synergy between xanthan and carob. So it is really amazing system, but that can help us suspend glitters in liquid spray. For instance, if you want to do a hairspray with glitters in it, well, this is something which is very, very interesting. Well, let's move to the last area, which is film forming with the Safic-Alcan TA range, which are alginates. Alginates are extracted from brown algae. Well, The alginate polymers can get organized in what we call the egg box model. In the presence of divalent ions, you can see that here, you will form very strong bridges between between the polymer strands, and you will form film. You can see the type of film that you can form here. So if you want to do peel-off mask, that's something which is very interesting. So when I look at the roadmap we started with, I think we did a pretty good job in covering very much everything. You know, we've started with Nourion Amazixty and Alchemy Clear 6S and Alchemy Sucra 6 VX, which are thickeners for waters. They have suspending properties. Most of them are clear. And of course, they are natural. Then we move to oil phase system, and this is with Elementis benton gel, which also has suspensive properties. And finally, we also move to Safic-Alcan. So this Safic-Alcan C range, we are talking here about carrageenans. Then we had these very innovative vesicles with the moment of silk of O. Here we can, and we had also this mixture of caroube and xanthan. All of these are targeting gel forming for water, and of course some of them have suspensive properties. And at the end, we end up with forming films, and this is a Safic-Alcan TA range. So you see that here we really have a very nice palette of texturizers here. So, well, let me thank you for your attention. This is, you have here my coordinates, and I think we have a few minutes to answer the questions. So I see the questions. Well, the first question I have, yes, the first question I have is on the processing and what kind of can we process this on the cold conditions? Well, that's a good question, and most of them can be processed under cold conditions, and the exception is the carrageenans, so iota and kappa carrageenans. They have to be, you have to process them at at a high temperature, around 70 degrees, and also the mixture of caroube and xanthan can be used at, can be formulated at 70 degrees. So take the water, heat it up at 70, add these powders, all of them are white powders, and mix them up for about 10 minutes, and then it can be used. Let me see, I have another question concerning the naturality. So, well, some of them Cosmos certified? Well, the answer is yes. We have our caroube, or sorry, our carrageenan range, which is Cosmos certified, and the alginate range is Cosmos certified. Otherwise, of course, Nourion, Alchemy, and our Safic range are fully natural. Okay, is there any further questions? Let me check. Otherwise, well, let me, yes, there's one question on how to really use these technology, how to select them. Well, the first question you should be asked yourself, is whether you want to thicken or form a gel or form a film. Watch out for the pH, pH range. Most of these technologies should be used between 5 and 10 pH. Of course, the xanthan range is very stable function of pH. Watch out also for the salt concentration. The alginate is sensitive to salt, and some of them are can act positively with salt. And I'm thinking about, for instance, all the carrageenans and, of course, the xanthan range. Well, I think I'm about to finish. So thank you so much for your attention. Don't hesitate to contact Safic-Alcan Italy. We've put the coordinate there. Appreciate your help, and thank you very much. I will put again this the coordinate. Don't hesitate to contact us on these. Thank you so much for your attention. Have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you later.